Hello everybody, this is Robbie at Rapid X Rental. Wanted to make a quick announcement and let all of our customers know and prospective customers that we've now added trailers to a select few mini excavators, and we plan to add them to our skid steers in the near future. If you're familiar with us, you've been renting from us remotely in the cities that we're in and having to come pick them up yourselves with your own trailers or provide your own transportation. So we have heard our customers and we're trying to make it more convenient. There's some challenges involved with renting trailers remotely, not at a storefront and unmonitored. We think we've overcome those challenges, and shooting this video today to kind of do a walkthrough on how to rent from us with an excavator or a skid steer and a trailer. Thanks for tuning in, and please finish the video and let us know if you have any questions. So here's the front of the first two units we've put together. You'll notice we have some pretty significant tongue locks. The excavators are loaded and properly boomed down. And you will notice a new box mounted here on the front of the trailer near the tongue. And this is where you can access the keys both for the trailer lock and for the excavator. This key box, you'll be provided a code, and it's good for 24 hours. If you're a regular that rents from us often, we can also set you up with an app that can unlock this box via Bluetooth and access the keys for the trailer and the excavator. So to open the box, you're first going to hit this button here, and that livens it up. So that'll turn it on if you have the app, or if we give you the permission on the app to utilize it. Once you hit that, the Bluetooth connects and you can hit a button to open the box, or most likely we're going to give you a code to use. So if you hit the button and then put in a code, so that's the code for this one for today. So we can open it up, pull out our keys, and we have an excavator key on the front and a trailer key there. Okay, so now we have the key out of the Bluetooth or the combination box, and we want to take off our trailer lock so that you can hook up and go do your job with your new rental and trailer. So you put the key in, and then we're going to turn it, and it slides that cylinder down there. Then you can remove the lock portion of it. Then we're going to come up here and we're going to act like we're unhooking it from a vehicle. It's the same exact process. Slide the top off, unhook it, and the bottom falls out. So now the lock's removed and we're ready to hook up to your towing vehicle. Okay, so we've still got the pieces all removed. And if we're returning the excavator to where you rented it from and we need to secure it so that it doesn't get stolen or disappear, we're going to have to put the trailer lock back on. So we're going to start with this piece, and that top portion goes up in the trailer tongue like so, just like you're hooking it up to a pickup. And then we have to lock it down. So excuse me while I set the phone down, and I'm going to push this in here and slide that coupler lock up there. Okay, so now that that's done, we take the housing here, and the solid part goes on top, and the holes go on bottom, and it slides over just like that. And then we put the lock portion back on. You push the cylinder up, and you turn the key to lock it, and you're done. It's on there, and it's not going anywhere, so the trailer is now secured. So these are the first two units that we're gonna put in the market with trailers. They both have the same Bluetooth or combination key box that we've discussed. They both have the exact same coupler tongue lock that we've discussed and know how to use now. They're both 14-foot tandem axle with ramp gates. So these trailers are almost identical. The one with the orange excavator has a little heavier ramp gate, but they're both built plenty stout for what we're doing with them. But as identical as these look, it's very important to always double check the ball size that the coupler requires. So if you look at the one here with the yellow excavator, it says very clearly right there, 2-inch ball required. And if you come over here, same exact trailer, same part number, different ramp gate, but it says 2 5/16 ball required. Very important that we match those up and get them right. If you don't have the right one, you can't pull it. And if you want to know which one is which before you go rent them, ask us and we will sure be happy to let you know. Thanks for watching. Okay, now we're going to go over how to safely hook up the trailer and attach it. We'll start by removing the lock again. So I've already put the key in it since I'm got limited number of hands to do this video with. So we're going to turn the key. You can see once you turn it and get it loose, the shank comes down. You can remove the lock. Then we pull off the cover, and then we've got that portion in there. So we're going to uncouple it like that, and it drops out. So that now, since we're about to hook this up to the truck, we don't want to lose these pieces. So we're going to put all this back together real quick, like so. Okay, and then I'll put the lock in there, and we'll keep this in the back seat of our pickup so we don't lose it for when we return the machine. Okay, so as you can see, we've got everything in place to hook up the trailer. Again, this one has the 2 5/16 ball requirement, not a 2-inch, it's larger. This is a 2 5/16 ball, so we've matched all that up. So the next step is to take the jack handle and jack the trailer down on the truck, like so. Okay, so now we've got the jack is off of the ground here. All the weight's on the ball. It's sitting on there properly. So now I'm gonna try to do this with my foot so I can keep filming. So we're gonna wanna close that part in so that this coupler slides down over it, like so. So now we're latched onto there. I'm gonna beep that forward just a little. Then we have this pin which secures the coupler lock, just for extra safety measure. We're gonna put that through like that. And then on the other side, we'll bring up the keeper for the pin like so. And it's latched on there just like that. Now the next step, so we don't forget our jack, we're gonna pull this pin here, and we're gonna put our jack up in the stow position here and drop the pin. Now we are going to unhook our safety chains from their position where they get stowed away. And most people like to cross them. So we'll put the left one on the right side of the pickup like that. And then we'll take the right hand one out of its stowed position. And we're gonna grab it here and put it there, latch it in there. So our coupler's locked, our coupler pin's in, our jack is up, our safety chains are crossed and hooked. So the only thing left is to put our light plug in and brakes. These trailers are equipped with brakes on an axle. So we're completely hooked up. Coupler lock pin, safety chains, the jack is stowed upright, and our light and brake plug is in. So the next step would be to turn our lights on our pickup, turn our flashers on and our running lights, and walk around the trailer. You have clearance lights front and rear, and then on the back you have a pair of red lights that serve as running lights, brake lights, turn signals, and flashers. And this one was checked just earlier today, so it's all good to go. But that is how we secure our load. Let us know if you have any questions. Okay, so now we've gone over how to use the new key box and get our keys, and how to use the tongue lock and access the tongue so we can hook the trailer up, and how to secure it once we've unhooked it and we're done and returning the machine. Now let's talk about where to park the excavator. This is pretty important. If you don't have enough weight on the tongue and you have too much weight behind the axles, it will be dangerous, just like with hauling any amount of weight. These excavators weigh about 4,000 pounds. The trailers are rated for 7, so we have a lot of forgiveness, but where we park the machine matters a lot. If you'll notice, that backfill blade there is almost directly in line with that upright just in front of the axle. And if you watch as you load the excavator, you can see about the time you get to that point, you start seeing more weight get on your truck. So that's where we want to be. If we go too far forward, we'll put too much weight on a vehicle, especially if it's like a half ton. And if we go too far back on any size vehicle, the trailer has a tendency to sway and fishtail back there, so that's dangerous. So that's about where you want to have it, is where the weight's pretty much centered on that front axle of the trailer. So now that we know where to park it on the trailer, let's talk about how to safely secure the excavator to the trailer. So you'll notice we have our chain run through the front stake pocket on the passenger side. We're running over the top of the backfill blade, under that cross member where the blade cylinder connects, and then back over the backfill blade on the driver's side. And then we have our chain binder hooked in the stake pocket, hooked to the chain, and it's very tight. There's hardly any play there, so the front is very secure. Now let's cover the back side of the machine. Some of them have eye hooks under the center, some don't. This particular one doesn't, so it's a little more challenging. So what I do is I remove the entire strap from the ratcheting part, and I start over here on the passenger side, and I put the metal hook in that hole right in front of the drive motor on the undercarriage. And then we're going to run the strap back through the stake pocket in the rear, across to the other stake pocket, and then back up along the bed. And then we attach our ratcheting part with the hook in that same hole on the driver's side. We run our strap through it, and then we ratchet it down to where it's pretty tight like that. And I've put baling wire on it to secure the excess strap. There's 100 different ways to tie that up where it's safe and not dangling behind the trailer. Everybody does it differently, but I felt like this was a good consistent way that people can use and reuse that tie knots differently. This will keep the slack up, and everybody knows how to do that. So that machine is parked in the right spot on the trailer. It's secured front and back. Our binders, chain and boomers, and our ratchet strap are all rated together for much more than that machine weighs. Our trailer capacity is much more than the machine is. So we've got a good, safe, secure load on a super good trailer. If you have any questions, please let us know. Okay, so we're all hooked up and ready to go, and we're at the job site. We're going to pretend a little bit here, and it is time to unload the excavator. Number one, always, always, always leave the trailer coupled to your vehicle, to your towing vehicle, when loading and unloading. You have to have that secured to the ball so that it handles the weight of the excavator coming on and off the rear of the trailer. Always, always hooked up, loading and unloading. So if we were ready to unload, we would undo the orange binder there, remove the chain from around that brace there, and then lay it all off to the side over here. And then over on the back side, we would undo our ratchet strap there, take the strap side off here, remove it from that D-ring, and then we would lay our ramp down here with our little handles on each side and carefully lay that down. It is spring loaded, so it's not near as heavy as it looks. And then we're ready to drive the excavator off. A lot of people like to spin the excavator around and use the bucket to catch them as they're going downhill off the rear of the trailer. And you can do that. You just have to constantly adjust, because as you go down the trailer, you have to take more pressure off of the boom, lifting it up. I prefer just to back it off exactly like it is. It's balanced pretty well on these low profile trailers. So if you just pick the bucket up, pick the backfill blade up in the position that it's in now, and back straight off very slowly, very cautiously, you won't have the first problem. Some people get a little jumpy when you hit the breakover point between the trailer and the ramp, and just go super slow, and it will have that breakover point, and that does scare people and makes them pinch the seat cover a little bit, but you'll be fine. Just go slow and keep it straight, and it'll back right off. And I would load it the exact same way and then boom it down like we discussed earlier. And again, loading and unloading 100% always has to be coupled to your vehicle. But I hope this has been helpful, and if we can answer any questions, let us know. Thanks for joining us. I hope you've learned a little bit and see how we do our process with our trailers and excavators. With this unit here that we just hooked up to, so we've unhooked it, we've returned it to where we picked it up from to rent it, and we've sent the pictures back in to headquarters showing that it's washed and clean and full of diesel and what the hour meter reads, and that everything's in good condition. And now it's time to go on about our days, but before we leave, we do have to install the trailer lock and secure the trailer so that it stays there for your next rental. So we're going to start with this piece here. In this top portion here mimics the trailer ball. So you take it, you put it in the coupler like so, and you see how that cutout there rests on the coupler. And then we've got the hole in the front, which is where our lock pin goes through. So now we just have to lock our coupler. Didn't mean to drop you there. I'm trying to do this one-handed. So we did get it locked. This is in place. Now we take the housing. The solid part goes on top. The holes go on bottom so that it drains water. It slides right over like so. Just like that. And then it's all the way in place. And the way you know you've got it right is you've got both lips here that it locks through are lined up perfectly. So that means we're secure and we're on there. So now we're going to put the actual lock portion over the top. We're going to push the cylinder through there, turn the key, pull it out, shake it a little. The lock's in good. Shake the coupler. It's not coming off of there. So now the trailer is secure and it is ready for next time. Thanks for watching.